Georgia, Greensboro, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Chicago, Tampa, Florida, Miami, Dallas, Texas. I don't care where the city is. Ooh, things are taking place.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. It's the weekly Pro Wrestling Rush, episode 11 here. Matt Shadis, who's going to be taking off to New Orleans tomorrow, was unable to make it with us tonight for the final go-home show before Raw, but I got Stephen Lane this week here with me, who wasn't here last year. What's up? Or last week. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Last year, I said. Okay, man. You ready to kick it off? We're going to do Raw. We're going to talk about Raw, and then we're going to talk about Mania predictions, and then that's it.
Hell yeah, man.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So, Taker kicked off Raw. He came out and said that he's never said that he's any better than any of his opponents. People believe in the streak. He knows Brock's dangerous, but Brock's going to rest in peace at WrestleMania. Brock cut him off. Heyman said that he didn't have to win. Taker has to not lose. It'll just take an F5, and that's a spoiler, not a prediction, Paul says. Brock entered the ring after faking out Taker a few times, and they slugged it out. Then Brock hit a clothesline and a nice F5 on Taker, and then he taunted him as he went down the ramp. I thought that was a great opening segment. The only thing I wish about it is that it would have been later on in the show. The only reason they did this is that they were trying to compete with How I Met Your Mother, and that's why they threw Taker and them out at the beginning. So what'd you think of that idea?
I loved the opening segment. I thought it was very strong. And it's hard to do the same kind of Raw, Undertaker segment without it making it feel the same. So I thought they did a good job. I mean, instead of Paul Heyman coming out, running out, it was both of them. I don't know, it was really good. I thought it was well done. I'm glad that they kind of got a little physical. And I'm glad that Brock's the one that kind of, because it's like, well, is Brock going to win? Rather than Undertaker just beating him every time, it's like, well, no.
There are some rumors going around that Brock may take the streak, which I don't believe any rumors about him taking the streak. I'm pretty sure Taker's going to win this, but they did make it look like Taker's actually really vulnerable. And as we were texting the other night, and I wanted to bring it up, he makes Taker look so old out there. If Taker's got another Mania in him, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I think Taker's body looks better than it has the past couple of years. It's just he looks older now.
Yeah, just for being off a year, though, and being able to train, he just looks terrible. You'd think he'd be in such much better shape than he was last year since he didn't get to train. And it just doesn't look like his legs are really going out on him, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm going to say, if Undertaker ever loses, in my opinion, I think it will be his last WrestleMania.
Yeah, and
I think it'll be a certain person. I don't think he would want Brock Lesnar to be like,
No, it'll be Bray Wyatt. I'm guaranteeing at 32 if he does it. If he can make it past Sting at 31, if they do Sting in him, then it'll be Wyatt, in my opinion. It won't be Sting.
See, I was saying, maybe Kurt Angle would be like his perfect ending.
But him beating the streak, being such a veteran, I don't see him doing that.
Yeah, no, and you're right. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things.
It's got to be an up-and-comer. It could be Cena.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does. I don't know who it would be, but as far as I say, that was a good opening segment. But I just wish it could have been a little later in the show, maybe middle-wise, instead of kicking it right off with that. In my opinion, it was a strong kickoff, obviously, but then it seemed like the show just got lamer after that.
Yeah.
You couldn't follow that up. Okay, so Big E took on Alberto Del Rio in a channel flipper, which we both claimed. Del Rio hit a double stomp and a super kick for the win. I mean, I didn't even care for this match at all. Big E has the title, but he loses. I mean,
thank God for DDR, man.
I don't know what they're doing with the ICD in the U.S. title, but they obviously don't care about it, like we've said.
Oh, dude, no, they don't.
So moving on from that, it was another one of those just blah matches. Summer Rae against Natalya. Summer Rae hit a head kick and pinned Natalya. Nothing real major there. Then the next segment, do you have anything to say about that?
Not one.
I have not one interest in the Divas division right now. Not a bit. The Authority comes out, made fun of the Mania flavor of the month. Did you see him making fun of Fandango in this segment, by the way? About how they were all doing the Fandango in last year, and how it just went away in like a month. It was kind of funny to me that he'd come out and say all that stuff. Fandango had to feel like shit after that, or Fandango, excuse me. I bet he just felt like, God, get me out of this gimmick now. He just buried him so bad. I don't know if they like Fandango, really, to tell you the truth, like, personally.
I don't think Fandango likes his own gimmick because his real personality does not go with Fandango.
Well, how do you go from fighting Jericho at Mania last year to not doing anything, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Fandango could be like a monster heel if they kind of pushed him.
He's a great actually, if you get past the gimmick, he's a great wrestler when it comes down, when the bell rings, he's great.
Yes.
That leg drop he does off the top is nice, and I mean everything he does in the ring is really good. I think he's a really good in-ring worker. Johnny Curtis is his name, by the way.
Yeah, he's got a good body. I mean, he's got everything it takes to kind of.
Yeah, he's got the look, he's got it all, but it's just like they won't push the guy, which is baffling with a lot of guys. McIntyre, the list goes on and on.
Oh, I mean, the Fandango gimmick.
Did you see the video of all the fads that he showed that he had beaten?
Yes.
Jericho, Angle, Hardy. Who am I missing? I just thought it was weird that Jericho, Angle, and Hardy were all on there.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of thing saying that after Hardy's done with this gimmick over in TNA, he's coming back and Angle's on the way and Jericho's coming back? And
yeah, it seems like the WWE's getting their guys that they've had falling outs with. They're all kind of just trying to get them back.
I know Angle wants to come back in 2014, so.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. You know, maybe later this year. I think he's out of his contract, like August or something.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he can't wait to get out of it.
Man, I'd just be ready to just bolt out the door at TNA right now. I can't. It's so unwatchable.
Oh, dude, I've seen in interviews where he says he loves TNA. You know,
yeah, right. He has to say that in sake of the company. That's kind of like what they got mad at Davey Richards for burying ROH while he was in it. You can't bury a company while you're in it, you know? So he's got to talk good about him while he's in there. But when he's out, I bet you he'll be like, God, I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Couldn't wait. Like, they don't even know what they're doing with him.
Yeah. Well, Triple H said he'd put it into the yes movement, win the WWE title. Batista came and cut him off, and he was dressed ridiculous again this week. I just can't stress enough how ridiculous Batista looks coming out dressed like that every week.
Oh, it's killer for the gimmick, though. It's getting a lot of heat.
Yeah, I mean, nobody likes the way he's dressing, obviously, so just keep doing that. You got the Georgetown Hoyas jersey on with a tight T-shirt underneath, and you got your pants on again, tight, and he's got the go-to-hell hat with the glasses on. It looked just so stupid.
Yeah.
Come out with the suit on like you used to.
Like, yeah, come on, you know?
I mean, he looks like he's trying to dress like a 20-year-old, and he's 45.
Right.
Okay, so Batista cut him off and said that vid didn't contain Batista in it because Triple H had never beaten him. Triple H said he had already said that already, and he should worry about the match. Batista said Triple H needs to worry about Bryan, and he may not even make it to the title match. He called Steph the brawn and Triple H the brains of the operation. I thought that was funny. And then Orton came out and says that they should all reconsider their Mania plans, and he said he'd love to see Triple H and Batista go one-on-one. Triple H said Orton needs to stop kissing up, and the Viper needs to come back again, if he even shows up. And then he booked Batista Orton for later on the night in an ODQ match. So what do you think of that segment? I just don't like Triple H's 30-minute promos like he did when he was Evolution.
Yeah, because I remember you said on the last episode that you didn't really like how he comes out there and just kind of just goes on and on and on.
Does he not, though?
I like it, actually. I don't know. There's just... I don't know. I guess I consider myself more of like a heel lover.
But I just think that the less talk and more action. And it's just like all he does is come out there and talks for 30 minutes, man. He takes a lot of airtime up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on it. Even though I do love it, I do feel you on it. They could cut it back at least 5 minutes.
I mean, at least. They have to carry on and on. They could have just got Batista and Orton out there without having to play their music and all that.
Yeah, and the music kind of kills it, too, because Batista walks out there and stops, look.
Yeah, he has to do a little pose and everything. It's ridiculous. He was dressed like an idiot. That's all I got to say for that segment. And I just hate Triple H's interview.
Yeah, well, the whole Michael Cole interviewing him sometimes.
That was bad last week, in my opinion. But if you liked it, that's good. But
no, it's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I actually one of the few people that like Michael Cole as the announcer. but I don't like him as the guy that comes in their interviews because it's so, like,
Or being just a comedic joke is terrible.
Yeah.
When they did that. Cole, I'm not a freaking big Michael Cole fan anymore. I used to actually think he was a good announcer until they started doing stupid stuff with him, and it kind of ruined me on him.
Well, I hated the whole heel run. I hated the whole gimmick
The
thing.
Cole Chamber and whatever, or what do you call it?
I like him as a straight announcer because he really is good. You know, a lot of people couldn't do that.
He really is a good announcer. He knows his moves and stuff. He's learned well. He's been there since the Attitude Era.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to hate this, but he is a future Hall of Fame announcer.
He probably, he has to be.
He has to be.
He has to be because he's like the voice now, so. Whether we like it or not, he's going to get in there.
Yep, and I do like him. I really do.
I liked him as an announcer, but it was just the whole character switch they did with him that spoiled me on him.
And I'm sure he probably wishes he could probably take it back. I'm sure.
Yeah, we're kind of getting off subject on that though.
Yeah.
So other than that, what'd you think of that segment? So you liked the segment then?
I like the segment. I do enjoy Triple H talking on the microphone really as much as possible, except for, like we were saying, you know, maybe a little too long. But
well, last week was pathetic compared to this week. So I can handle it a little bit more, but I just don't like how he comes out every week and has a promo.
Yeah, I'm ready for him to get back in the ring again, even if it doesn't happen. But
or mix it up or something while you're out there instead of just talking the whole time. And Stephanie Stephanie don't help much.
Yeah, and she's good on the microphone, but yeah, you're right. It's kind of just like husband, wife, you know.
You know what's going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the Los Matadors and the Usos against Ryback and Real Americans, another match that I just didn't care for. Diego switched places with Fernando and rolled up Swagger for the win. I mean, I couldn't even believe they gave Los Matadors the pin.
Dude, why? The Real Americans are the only tag team in that match
that's any good. Yeah.
And they're the ones getting pinned.
Yeah, well, Jimmy and Jay are good. I just think they need a gimmick of some sort.
Yeah, their gimmick right now is
I wish they'd go to a more Wild Samoans type gimmick. That'd be cool.
Yeah, something
more savage-like, you know.
I feel like if they were ECW, Paul Heyman would have something for him, you know.
Yeah, he'd have him as those wild savages, you know.
Exactly, he would be doing something with them, but where they're at now in the WWE, it's just kind of like, they're gonna be the same people they are next year.
Yeah, I don't like them coming out in all the fluorescent colors and everything, and
no, they need
the paint and everything. They need a different look.
Yeah,
I know Matt's gonna be listening; he's a fan of them, but still.
I'm not a fan of them at all. I think they're boring. When I see them on TV, I'm just like,
When we get them on here next week, we'll talk about the Usos, but still, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going by tag teams, the belts need to be either on, you know, the Wyatt.
If you're not going to do anything with Cesaro, put the belts on them.
Exactly, and then make them look good. Make the belts look good, or put them on the Real Americans, like we just said, or the Wyatt or the Shield.
Yeah, why would you revamp a whole tag team division and it comes to Mania and you just don't even care?
Yeah, I mean, the three best tag teams in the WWE haven't even sniffed the belt. None of them have.
Well, Brotherhood should be in the match.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, come on.
I mean, I just feel like they sometimes don't even care.
And speaking of the Brotherhood, they fought Fandango and Damien Sandow the next segment, and I just feel sorry for Damien Sandow as he takes the job again after a final cut by Goldust. I mean, he's getting jobbed out to guys from the Attitude Era now. I mean, it's just not even funny anymore. He's got to get into that group with those disgruntled employees or something. I seen they were trying to make him look, he has a different look going with the black tights and stuff, and he hasn't been wearing like the pink tights and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what did he do to make someone mad?
Well, I think they're trying to give him more of an edgier look now instead of those pink and purple tights. I did notice that, but yeah, I mean, man, this guy went from having money in the bank to getting jobbed out every match.
Yeah, I think he seems maybe a little too small for what they like to.
I don't know, he reminds me a lot of a Savage.
Yeah, kind of like a little softer body, but
not as athletic, but I don't know if he is or not because I haven't really seen much of what he can do.
I mean, because we all know Vince likes big bodies.
Right, he's not their prototypical guy, and neither is Ziggler, Bryan, or any of them guys.
Yeah.
Whether you like Daniel Bryan or not, it's not the guy they really want.
And by the way, did you see the interview with Batista where he was on WrestleZone where he said, you know, too much Bryan is bad. And
I think so, too. All they do is chant for Bryan the whole time, and it's just like he's going to be out there, you know?
yeah, like you'll hear CM Punk chants during like Undertaker and Brock talking. It's like,
Yeah,
man,
the crowd's thinking they're so smart, it's getting ridiculous.
yeah, and it's like he quit on you. Stop saying his name.
And then with people within the WWE need to stop giving out every freaking little piece of information that they can.
Yeah.
I mean, it was way better when kayfabe was going. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
At least it kept it realistic.
The internet has not helped wrestling.
No, they're killing wrestling, and they probably were the death of wrestling a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think whether we like it or not, we're in the last remnants of what we remember as real wrestling. I mean, if they're not even gonna, there's just gonna be this PG crap for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
I totally agree with you. Like you said last week, Vince McMahon's even thinking about selling it. And if that happens, if he sells it to AMC,
Yeah, he is.
They will be Time Warner and they will kill wrestling.
He said in the long run, Uncle Sam makes the decision. And in my opinion, that's something there to think about that he would sell. In my opinion, so.
And you'd never think he would sell it. But if he's even thinking about it, that's not even.
2.7 to 2.8 billion profit, though. I think I'd think about selling, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, how much money do you need? You know, he's got enough money. I mean, how
Well,
much money do you need?
all I can say, 2.8 billion, he wouldn't have to worry about his great grandkids. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean.
That'd
Paul
take care of
Heyman
his family for a long time.
I mean, look what Paul Heyman did with just thousands.
I don't agree with them cutting the McMahons and them totally out if they sell.
Yeah.
I hope they at least keep them around like Time Warner kept the guys around, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. AMC, I mean, they've lost Breaking Bad and they've lost, they're going to lose Mad Men, and I think that's why all they have now is The Walking Dead. So
But both those shows though had good runs.
Oh, yeah, but they're done now. So I think AMC might be thinking like, hey, what's our next thing we can do? Let's try and buy WWE.
I've also heard, you know, if Jarrett, I'm really pulling for Jeff Jarrett to do good on his company.
Yes, and I know there's a lot of people behind him too because you know he started TNA and TNA was good.
Yeah.
It's not the TNA that we see now.
No, it's not. If you think TNA is anything like it was in the beginning, you need to go back and look because.
Oh yeah, he gave everybody a chance.
Even whenever I showed you, I was there in 2007 at Lockdown, and I mean it was one of the best live events I had ever been to.
Oh yeah, on pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it was like 2007 they hit their peak. Once Hogan and them got in there, I think it was over.
Yeah, the first, you know, them coming, him and Bischoff coming.
Them getting rid of Jarrett out of the main picture was the bad thing. He proved that he is a good booker and he can run a company.
Yeah, I mean, when things are going good, why mess it up?
Yeah. It wasn't his fault that he was the main star, too, and he had to carry the belt. Who are you going to put the belt on back then?
Right.
You know, I always hated that everybody complained about him being champion, but I'm getting off the subject on that, too.
Yeah.
But
he was good. I mean, he's a good champion, though.
yeah, he was. Hell of a wrestler. Doesn't get his props.
No, he doesn't. And I know you probably know the whole history between him and Vince.
Yeah, they do not have a good history, no.
And they probably won't be seeing him in the Hall of Fame maybe ever, right?
I don't know. I don't know if we will ever see him, especially if he starts another company.
Yeah, and the fact that, what did he do? He kind of did what Warrior did.
Maybe when we're 80, we might see him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he held Vince up for more money or something like that.
Right.
And that's not good.
No. He did hold Vince up on that match with China that he had, the Good Housekeeping match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Bray Wyatt, R-Truth with Xavier Woods is who he took on. Next segment. He hit Sister Abigail for the win. Xavier tried to go in, and he got beat down. And then they posed in the ring until another figure appeared behind him in the sheep mask, and it was none other than John Cena, which I pretty much could tell right off the bat. I mean, who didn't think that was Cena? I thought it was ridiculous how long they sat there and looked at him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cena pulls the masks off, attacked Rowan and Harper, and then Bray took off with Cena sitting there, like, I guess, tempting him to come back in the ring as Wyatt walks off. I don't know. I mean, you didn't know that was Cena? I mean, who are you feuding with right now? Who did you just crucify last week and put the mask on that's going to want payback? You're going to sit there and stare at him for 3 minutes?
Right.
I didn't get that booking at all.
I didn't. Yeah, I kind of was like wondering what.
Well, you might as well just had him come storming in there without the mask and stuff. He looked like he had the same outfit Daniel Bryan wore.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get it, but I mean I get what they were trying to do, but it was just, man.
It was kind of questionable.
It was a little bit like ridiculous because I was like, okay, it's Cena, obviously.
Yep.
Who else is it gonna be?
Who else is it?
Okay, AJ Naomi. AJ took on Naomi in a Lumberjill match. Naomi hit the rear view for the win. That's all I got to say about that.
2 decent matches in one night. That's the record, I think. That's the record right there, man. What are they doing?
How many matches have we just said screw it on?
Yes. And it's only just one. This one's got 2. Like, whoa.
I mean, I'm almost through the card already.
Yeah, there you go.
Cena backstage is shown, and he says the Wyatts forced him to fight, that they'll see fire and rage, and says he'll be a monster. He needs to do it because it means he can face his fears and overcome them. He won't let his career end like Bray has been demanding, and he's been demanding change, and he knows it, and he says the only change that's going to come is when he shoves his foot up Bray's ass. Which I laughed at because you got this guy out there, you want all the little kids to like him, but then you got him dropping that. Like, why would they have the face of the company, come out there and drop Bray's? I'm going to put my foot in Bray's ass.
Oh, man, I loved it.
I mean, I thought it was funny, but I didn't get it because I'm like, that's your, like, baby face.
Him doing that, you're just like, oh, man, what would this guy have done in the Attitude Era? He would have fit right in.
Yeah, he would have been great, like, with that rap gimmick back then.
Yeah, and the whole, like you said, shove it up your ass. That just shows you if WWE was not PG, it would be better.
It would be better. Yeah, just saying that was better.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So you liked that. I liked that little interview.
I liked it, yes.
Yeah, me too. He was fired up on it and it seemed realistic.
Yeah.
A lot more realistic than their segment.
Yeah, I mean, lately it seems like it's better than it was a year ago when it comes to not seeming so scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kane and Roman Reigns fought next. Roman Reigns won the vote with 80%. I mean, I called it from the get-go that he was going to win the vote.
Yeah.
I mean, if that don't show you that the WWE is going to put everything into him, I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, Roman Reigns is hot right now.
He's their next big guy in line, and that's just the bottom line. He hit a Superman punch. Shield surrounded him and started stomping him down to cause a disqualification. And then they set up for the triple power bomb, and the Outlaws got Kane pulled to safety. I think this is going to be kind of a cool match, really, I think.
Good chemistry helps. It seems like they got it.
I just like the Shield right now. I think they're on a good little run. And when they finally break them up, it's going to seem a little better now.
Yeah, we said a while back, we kind of predicted, they were going to break up at Wrestlemania, but I don't know if that'll happen now.
I think that's going to be a pretty good match.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just, we can see it on the...
And I kind of liked that. I kind of liked that match and the whole setup there at the end that they did with the Outlaws. And I'm glad Outlaws are on the card, to tell you the truth.
I'm glad to see it. I think that they don't seem washed, even though they look like they should be washed up. They're not washed up.
No, they're not. No, they've still got it for sure.
Yeah, they do.
And they're only getting in better shape every week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm wondering if they have him fight wrestling house shows and stuff, or.
I wonder that. I would say they are.
I'm gonna have to look into that and see if they got them wrestling house shows.
Yeah, I mean, WrestleZone will have like live show results once in a while. I never really look at them, but I bet they are on the house shows. I would bet.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it at all. Next, you had the Piper's Pit segment with appearances by Miz, Sheamus, Titus, Ziggler, all coming out talking about the Andre Invitational Battle Royal. Piper raked Miz in the eyes and threw him into the crowd. Sheamus grabbed him, and they started a big brawl. Mysterio's music hits. He comes down, starts clearing house. Then Big Show shows up, and he clears the ring with Mysterio as the only one left in there. Mysterio goes for a 619, and Big Show blocks it, picks him up over his head, and tosses him into the other guys onto the floor.
Yeah, this has got Big Show winning it all over it.
I did. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I go, he'll win it because he's like their new Andre.
Right.
And him and Hogan are such buddies.
And I'll laugh if it ends up being him and Mysterio, the last two. You know, the little man and then the guy you pretty much think's going to win it.
Yeah, you're right. It pretty much shows you. I think that's who's going to win the whole thing is Big Show.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, I think Mysterio does.
I could see Mysterio doing it. I think they want to do something. He's not going to be around for much longer, so they're trying to do something with him.
No, I don't know what he's got left in the tank.
I don't either. Mysterio's been going for so long and getting beat around so good.
Oh, hasn't he been going since he was 14? Because he's really not even that old. It's just he's been going since 14 years old.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of tread wear on the tires.
Yeah, his body's wore down bad.
Yeah.
A lot of surgeries,
He's in his 40s.
Yeah, he's had a lot of surgeries and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't see him sticking around too much longer. So they ought to do something with him while he's around.
Yeah, how old is he, 35?
I don't actually know his age yet, actually off of my head, but I'd have to look it up.
He's under 40.
He's older than me, I know that, and I'm gonna be 32, so.
Yeah, he's older than you.
He may be in his 40s.
Yeah, like he might be 40.
You never know. We'll have to look it up and remember that on the next show. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it came to the main event, which was the no DQ Batista versus Orton. Which we all knew that Bryan was going to end up in this one. And he ended up showing up, and, a brawl ensued between him and Triple H. Orton and Batista. The match just kind of didn't even end, if you noticed. Had no ending.
There was no ending.
No, there was no decision to this match, but it ended with Triple H up into the ring and Bryan. Or what? How did it end? I can't remember. How'd they go off?
Oh, what did happen? I don't know.
Well, Bryan attacked Triple H, but was Bryan in the ring at the end, or I can't even remember now.
I think he was.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering that.
I think they might just went off the air with them brawling too. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
So much wrestling in our minds. Remember everything.
I mean, it was just like it really didn't matter the ending. I mean, it's just setting up the match between him and Bryan.
Basically knew what was going to happen.
It was just a big brawl, and then it went off air, and there was no decision. There was no decision though, which what I thought was odd.
Yeah.
Okay. But that ended Raw right there. So overall, I think it could have been a better go-home show than that.
Yeah, I've seen better Raws.
Typical of what WWE's been doing, though.
Yeah, it seems weak. It's a weak Raw.
I thought it was for a go-home show to Mania. It was just not that interesting.
I mean, like we said, the segment between Undertaker and Brock kicks off great, and then they end up, or they go right after it with a weak match. I mean, why couldn't they do like a...
Yeah, it just got boring after the Taker segment, I thought.
Yeah,
and they never could build it back up.
Yeah, put the weak stuff in the middle, not at the beginning.
Right. Well, I could see them trying to combat that show and all, but it wasn't a good decision.
And they're going to have to end the three hours. That's got to stop.
Oh, the 3 hours is so bad.
I mean, they're
so
trying to
long.
shove everything down our throats.
Too long.
Oh, it's too long.
Way too long.
I feel like it's a job.
We discussed that. Okay, so are you ready to do Mania predictions, and then that'll be the show?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so first match on the card for the pre-show. I was kind of surprised they didn't put the Battle Royal on the pre-show. They might have listened to us. Actually, they put the tag title match on the pre-show, which I don't get that either.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do a title match for a pre-show that doesn't... Why are they
They've been doing that with the tag titles all year, though, on the pre-show. So you got Usos, Real Americans, Rybaxel, and Los Matadores in a four-way tag match for the titles. And I'm hoping Real Americans come out with it, but I won't be surprised if it's the Usos.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't even the four best tag teams in the...
It's not. Brotherhood should be in there.
Brotherhood, the Real Americans, the Shield, the Wyatt.
Why isn't the Wyatt family and Rowan and Harper at least should be in there in the Brotherhood and get rid of Rybaxel and Los Matadors?
Yeah, could you imagine the Wyatts being in it and then winning the titles and then going out with Bray with the titles they'd won earlier?
Oh, that would have been so cool, dude. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, ridiculous.
Really cool.
I don't like this match at all. I think it's a boring. That's a boring match.
Terrible booking.
Yeah, bad booking. And then you got the most laziest booking of all time. Like JR said, you got the Andre Invitational Battle Royal.
Yeah, I'm glad you're listening to JR's podcast.
Yeah, JR's got a good podcast.
And he even said it himself. It's boring booking is what it is.
It is. It's like, he's glad they're all going to get a paycheck, but like, do we really?
Mm-hmm.
And you know Big Show's coming out with it.
I mean, Money in the Bank's not good. Like, what?
I don't like the Andre Invitational Battle Royal, in my opinion.
It's terrible, and I already see Big Show winning it as of a week ago.
You're going to win a trophy.
Yeah, they're going to win a trophy. Yeah, I don't know. There ain't nothing else to say about it. It's just terrible.
I at least thought it might, end up being some kind of opportunity if you won it or something, but if you're just going to win a trophy, I don't like it.
Right.
So that's 2 Mania matches right there that I don't even care for. Then you got Shield versus the Kane versus Kane and the Outlaws. I see the Shield going over in this one.
Yep, no doubt.
Really not much to talk about there. Vicky Guerrero Divas Invitational. I think I see Tamina coming out with the women's title on that.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're doing something with Tamina because she's always with AJ.
Or I wouldn't be surprised one of the Funkadactyls come out with it because they've been winning like every week, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, the Divas is such a dark, like, you just never know.
I'm glad all those girls are getting paid, but it's not an interesting match.
No, and you never know what they're going to do with each one. Just whoever they decide to push that month.
Yeah. Okay. And then we go to Taker and Brock, and obviously I'm going to say Undertaker's going to win this match, but I think these guys could pull match of the night out.
Yes, they could.
If Taker comes in shape, they're going to pull the match of the night out, maybe.
Yeah.
Which so could the next match, which is Cena and Wyatt.
Yeah. I mean, Taker's winning it, no doubt.
Yeah, Taker's going to win against Brock, in my opinion. The streak's not ending. And then what are you saying, Cena and Wyatt? I'm saying Bray Wyatt's got to go over in this match.
See, I'm going to go with what I think they're going to do, and I think it'll be John Cena.
I think that too, but I think Bray Wyatt needs to go over in that match, and that's a bad booking if they have Cena win that match. But
I mean, if I'm booking it, Wyatt's going, but I think, we're trying to predict what we think those WWE bookers are going to do in there.
Right, it's going to be Cena. You're right.
They're going to do Cena. They will. They'll give
You can't have your top guy losing at Mania.
Yeah.
And they haven't built Wyatt up to a top guy yet, really, so he ain't going to take that bad of a hurt against a guy like Cena.
It'll be a hell of a match to make Bray Wyatt look good, but he'll lose.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a match, really. It'll surprise people.
Yeah.
Then you have Triple H and Bryan, which I think this will be a good match, really.
Yeah.
If Triple H is in shape still, like he was last year when he fought, who did he fight last year at Mania? I can't even remember right now.
It was Taker, wasn't it?
No, Taker fought Punk.
Oh, no, that's right. It was Taker.
That's pretty bad. We can't even remember who the heck he fought.
Oh my God, I don't even.
It wasn't Brock, was it? Yeah, it was Brock. Brock went over.
Yeah, it was Brock.
He fought Brock a couple times, so that's why I couldn't remember. But yeah, so I see Bryan winning this match and getting into the triple threat.
Me too.
I mean, if he jobbed to Brock last year, why wouldn't he job out to Bryan?
Yeah, I mean, if Triple H wins it, they're going to be booing the rest of the show.
Right. I can see something happening though, where he makes it a fatal 4-way for the title.
Yeah, or like.
Even if he loses, he makes it a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, I mean, Triple H loses, and Bryan gets in, and then Triple H is like, I'm in it now too.
Because I'm the authority. Right.
Yeah.
So what do you say for the main event? Orton versus Batista versus Bryan or Triple H? I'm
gonna go with Bryan.
I'm obviously saying they got to do Daniel Bryan at the end and give the fans what they want after all year. My prediction is Bryan coming out with the title at the end of Mania.
Yeah, I'll go with Bryan. I mean, he's not my favorite wrestler in the world.
I don't think that's going to be a great match either.
I don't.
And I question whether they'll have that for the last match of the night.
Good question.
How are you going to follow up Taker Brock or,
Yeah.
I think they will have it for the last match of the night, though, with the Daniel Bryan stipulation.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard to place where they should go on the card.
I think it's on the card on WrestleZone as the main event, so.
Okay, then yeah, they're going to do that.
And Triple H Bryan is like the match before, but I don't know if that's how they'll keep it.
Yeah, see, I don't know when they would go either.
Yeah,
kind of
you kind of would want him to fight right before it and stay warmed up, you know?
Yeah, maybe they'll probably just do it before the Undertaker match.
Something. Or just right before the main event.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Make it into like, Orton, Batista, get out here. We're all gonna be in it, like something like that.
Something could happen where that Triple H Bryan match don't even happen. You're right.
Yeah.
So I think it will though, and if it does, it's gonna be a good match.
And I mean, I would like to see some good backstage promos during WrestleMania. Like maybe I would really.
Well, I've heard rumors of Austin, Rock, Flair, Jericho. I don't know about Jericho, but I know I heard Austin, Rock, and Flair they've been reaching out to.
Yeah, and Steve Austin on his podcast today said that
He'll be in New Orleans.
Yeah, he said he's packing up. He's going to New Orleans. So.
Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him show up. And then you got him saying also that he thinks Punk may show up. Punk, who's getting married to AJ Lee.
Yeah, oh Jesus.
In real life.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, they're getting married. They're getting married. So, I could easily see him coming back if he's with AJ.
Yeah.
And they just kept it quiet. I don't know what they'd do with him though, but
I personally don't think Punk will be there. I know Steve Austin said it more as an opinion, so.
I don't think Sting's gonna show up either till the night after.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd say night after. Let everything.
But if he does, it'll obviously be during the Taker match.
Mhm.
So.
Man, it'd be weird how to book him. I don't know.
It'd be weird to do it on that night and not on Raw.
Just don't mess it up.
But my last thing I want to say is that I do look forward to watching WrestleMania though. I mean, like always.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem as strong as past years when you run down the card.
It could be better for sure.
It could be more star-studded, I guess you could say.
I mean,
you couldn't get Jericho, Rob Van Dam back for matches. I mean.
Well, I read that RVD's supposed to return on WrestleMania, so they seem like they're trying to get all these legends together.
I wouldn't doubt Jericho being in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt RVD being in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they've mentioned all the names in the Battle Royal yet.
They need Boogeyman for the Battle Royal, man.
Ha, Boogeyman. Bring the Boogeyman back. That's the final thing I'm saying. Bring Boogeyman back.
Bring Boogeyman. He's perfect for the Battle Royal. You're not asking too much.
Yeah, he is. Well, Steven, it's been fun as always, man. Episode 11, though, has come to an end, and we are off to the Mania show next week. We'll be talking about what happened at Mania.
Hell yeah.
So that'll be cool. Hopefully Matt will be back. Matt, what's up, man? Hope you have fun at Mania. If you hear the show, wish you were on here today, and we could have got you on.
Yep.
So, Steven, I'm going to say peace out, like always, man. Till next week. Thanks for listening, guys.